You don't have to learn hundreds of Linux commands. With these 50, you can do almost everything that you will ever need. So instead of overwhelming you, I have grouped them into categories, so you can actually understand them. First, we will talk about navigation and files. Then, we are going to take a brief look to file management. On section 3, we have reading files, and on 4, editing files. Then we are going to talk about how to search and discover files. On section 6 we have system monitoring. Then we are going to talk about processes, networking, storage and mounting, permissions and users, services and logs, and finally package management. So after finishing this video, you will be able to do everything you want inside your terminal. So without taking much of your time, let's get into it. The first command, and before doing anything, where am I? Just type pwd, and here you can see right now I am inside my home directory. So inside a folder called home and a subfolder called ld. I will move to the folder called test, and now if I type pwd, as you can see, now I'm inside this folder. You can see this here actually. I'm inside tilde, which means home, so the home directory of my user, which is called ld, and then I'm inside test. Our next bad boy is called ls, which is for listing directories. So if I type ls here, as you can see, I have 3 files here. But there is actually a hidden one. To list all files, including hidden ones, just type ls and give it the option A. Now you can see this is the hidden file I was talking about. And just to make the output looking better, just type ls and the option la. L is for list, and as you can see, now I have a better output which you can read easily. And now to go back to my home directory, I can just type cd and tilde, and now I'm home. Or you can do this actually just by typing cd. He will take you home wherever you are. And to clear your terminal, just type clear, and it's done. And with the command tree, you can list the content of a folder in a tree view. That means current folder, and the folder inside it which is called test, and the 3 files. Same here, type tree with the option A to list hidden files also. Now to files management. So I will go inside the test folder I have created before. And if I do ls here, I have 3 files here. And to copy files, just type cp, the file name you want to copy, and the name of the new file. I will go with file copy. Now if I type ls, and this is the new file. And to move files, you can just type mv, the file name you want to move, and where you want to move it. So I will put it inside home. I have typed tilde here, which means home. We have talked about this before. Slash. And I will double tap now to see the content of this folder, so the home folder. Alright, I have a folder called folder new here, so I will type its name and enter. Alright, now if I type ls here, the file 1 isn't here anymore, and if I do ls tilde and folder new, the file is now inside the new folder. And to remove files, just type rm and the file name. I will go with file 2. And it's not here anymore. And to create folder, just type mkdir. Mkdir stands for make directory, so make folder, and the folder name. I will call it 123, and if I type ls now, this is a new folder, and it's highlighted in blue, which means it's a folder. You can also use the mv command to rename files. So now I can type mv, the file name I want to rename is file3, and I want to call it nice text file. So I'm moving it from its old name to its new name. It's Linux. Now if I type ls, the new file is here. Now to reading files. To see the content of a file, just type cat or cat and the file name. And enter. And now you have the full output of this text. Okay, this file was really huge. I can't read everything in it. So I can type less and the file name. Now I can scroll inside this file, so I can click enter here and it will move 1 line by time, or space to go 1 page per time. And to exit, just type Q. Now let's clear everything, new command, clear. Or if you are lazy like me, just go with Ctrl L. And to see the first lines of this file, just go with head and the file name. And to see the latest lines of a file, this is amazing for logs, just type tail and the file name. And to detect file type, just type file and the file name. Here you can see this is a text file. This is helpful because you can't always trust the file extensions. I can actually rename this file, okay, mv nice, and I want to call it nice.png. Now if I type ls, alright, it's an PNG file, but it's actually a text file. So if I type file and the file name, as you can see, it's still a text file, and I can also see its content. So cat and the file name again. Now to section for editing text files. My favorite text editor in Linux is called Nano. So just type its name and the file name. It's really simple, so you can just move your cursor and start writing. You can delete with your backspace, just like all text editors, and you can hit Ctrl K to cut a whole line. Okay, you can see it also as delete if you want this, because right now you are cutting them, and if you want to uncut or paste, just type Ctrl U. And as you can see, now it pasted all lines I have cut before. You actually have a small cheat sheet down here, so this bad boy just means control. And to save file, just type Ctrl O and Ctrl X to exit. To find the location of a command, so where a command is installed, you can type which and the command name. I will go with ls, and the command ls is stored under user and bin. And if you are searching for files, just type the command, you guessed it, find. I will go with point. Point stands for the current directory. So now I am in tilde, which means it will start looking from the home directory. I want to find my file by name, so I will type name as an option, bracket, and inside it I will type my folder name. So I am looking about the file we have edited before. It's called nice something, so it starts with nice, and here I can type star, which means it will search for everything that starts with nice and ends with anything. And now if I hit enter, as you can see, it found it under dot, so my current folder, folder test, and here is the file name. Now to system monitoring. If something is slow or you feel that your PC is broken, just start here. With uptime you can see the uptime of your PC. So here you see the current time, and it's been up since 34 minutes. 2 users are logged in. And here you can see the CPU load the last minute, the last 5 minutes, and the last 15 minutes. It's 0, so my PC isn't doing anything. And to check RAM usage, just type free. And here you can see I have 9 GB of RAM, I'm using 300 MB, and I have 8.5 GB free. It's Linux, it doesn't use anything. And you can type free and give it the option H for human readable. Then you will see a better output with gigabyte, megabyte, and the whole beautiful things. To list your connected drives, so your USB sticks, hard drive, SSDs, just type lsblk. And here you can see I have only this SSD, it's 50 GB, and it has 3 partitions, SDA 1, 2, and 5. And here you have the size of each one. To check your disk usage, just type df for disk free, and give it the option H for human readable. And this is the usage of my disk. Now let's clear everything one more time. I will go with Ctrl L. To check folder size, just type du, and one more time with H for human readable. And here you can see these are all my files under this folder, so under my home folder, and their size. Now to processes. To check what's running now, just type htop. And you have this beautiful task manager. Here you have a task ID or process ID. Here you have your CPU usage, your memory usage, swap partition, the uptime, the load average, same as uptime command from before, and the number of running tasks. To kill a process, you can just select it and press on F9. Or you can also see what process ID it has. So this one have 261. I will type Q to exit. And now I can type kill and the process ID, which was, I don't know anymore. So I won't kill any process. And to stop a process by its name, just type kill all and the process name. You can type anything here like Firefox and enter. Now to networking. If you are self-hosting, this is gold. To check if your server is online, just type ping and your server IP. I have a 1 at 10, 23, 12, and 8, so it's reachable. This one will run the whole time, so you have to type Ctrl+C to stop it. And if you can't reach the internet, you can just type ping and ping something like google.com. It's responding. To do a DNS check, just type nslookup and the DNS name. So I will go with google.com. And here you can see my DNS server is resolving this. Now this is helpful if you have internet problems. So if you can ping the IP address of Google, which is 8.8.8.8, as you can see it's reachable, but sometimes if you ping the google.com, it won't reply. So in this case you can do nslookup, and if you can't see the IP address of google.com, you have a DNS problem. Now the last one in networking, it's IP add. And this one shows you the IP address of your machine. So here I can see I have two interfaces. This one is a loopback, you can ignore it, it's nothing. And I have this one. This is the MAC address. The name of the interface is here, and here, and here. This is the actual IP address, my network mask, and my broadcast. Now one thing is missing. It's a gateway IP address. Just type IP route. And here you can see, this is the IP address of my gateway. So my home router. 95% of you aren't subscribed. You have 5 seconds. Or I will run this command on your PC. Now to permissions. If I type ls -l here you can see I have two folders. As we talked before, L stands for list view. And using this, you can see the permissions of a folder. So this stands for directory. This means this is a directory or a folder. So the first 3 letters are for the owner of the file or folder. And these are for his group. And these are for everyone else. These two. So I will move to my folder. I will type cd and the folder name. And I will type lsl. Alright, here I don't have a D, which means it's a file. It's not directory, so file. And on this file I have read and write permissions, which means I can read its content and write into it. This one is missing, it's the X, which means execute. So execute means I can execute this file. For text files, this can't do anything. This one is only for executable files, like programs, commands, and so. And my group has also read and write permissions, and everyone else can only read this file. So list its content. And here you see, this is the user owning this folder. So it's LD, it's me, Libre-Data, and the group owning this folder. Now to change permissions in Linux, you have to do the following. Type chmod 640 and the file name. I will tell you in a second what 640 means. And now if I type lsla, as you can see, the permissions of this file have changed. Now what does this 640 mean? I will open up a text file here. Alright, let me tell you how this works. So I will paste the same command here, and I will assume I have read, write, execute permissions. Or actually, everyone have them. Alright, in Linux, every one of these letters has a number. So R have always the number 4, and W has the number 2, and X has the number 1. These are for my user, as we was talking before. The first 3 are for the user, so I will make some spaces, just to make it more clear. Alright, so R means 4, W means 2, and X means 1. Now the same here, 4, 2, 1. Now if I go here, I can count these numbers. So 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. And 7 here, and also 7 here. Which means this folder has read, write, execution rights for everyone. So this file has the 777 permissions. Which means, one more time, everyone has all access. Now to this one, let's make some spaces, just like before. Okay, this means 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, and 4, 2, 1. So the user has read and write permissions, so 4 plus 2, which means 6. And his group has also 4 and 2, so 6 one more time. And everyone else can only read the content of this file, which is 4. So I will type 4 here, which means this file has 664 now. So if I want to make this folder readable for me, not for my group, and not for anyone else, which means my user have 4 plus 2, which is 6. The group have nothing, so 0, and everyone else 0. So 600 means the owner have read and write, his group nothing, and everyone else nothing. Let's try this. I will type Ctrl X to exit. So here I will type chmod 600 and the file name. Now if I type lsla, as you can see, my user have read and write permissions, the group nothing, and everyone else nothing. To see the name of the current logged in user, just type who am I, and this is the username. Now the next one is the most important one. You will use this daily, or like every hour I think. It's called sudo, which lets you run the command of a permissions of a root user. So if you want to run any process as root, you have to type sudo before it. Let's try an example. If I want to change the owner of a file, so chown, and I want the owner to be the root user, and the file name. Here it's saying operation not permitted. This is an operation which only the root user can do, which means I can run the same command one more time and type sudo in the beginning. So this time the command will run as a root user. And now if I type ls/la, as you can see, the owner is the root user and the group is ld. I can also change the owner group of this file. So just type ... and the group is also root. Now if I type ls/la, as you can see, the owner is root and the group is root also. And if you want to run multiple commands as root and you don't want to type sudo the whole time, just type sudo and the option I. And as you can see, now I'm doing stuff as root. Now to services and logs. If you have any problem with your services, you can do the following. For this you have to have a root permissions. So just type sudo systemctl. To check status of a service, just type status and the service name. I will go with sshd. Here you can see the name of the service. It is loaded. It's enabled, which means it will start with the system. So after restarting the PC, this will start automatically. It is active or running, so running at this moment. Process ID, RAM usage, and stuff like this. So this service is actually green and everything is okay. If you want to start a service, so if it wasn't running and if you want to start it, you can replace status with start. And if it was disabled and you want to enable it, just replace start with enable. And to reboot your system, just type reboot. I won't hit enter now because I don't want to reboot my PC. And to shut down, just type sudo shutdown. Now on this one I can type enter, because as you can see, it will shut down after 1 minute. So to stop this, just type shutdown and the option C. And to shut down now, just type shutdown and now. I won't run this also. A very important section now, package management. Because in Linux, we install and update programs from the terminal. We don't go to websites and download stuff like the stupid Windows. Before installing stuff, it's always a good idea to update the database. So just type sudo apt update. This command checks the repositories and see if the programs there has any updates so that you install the latest version. And here it's telling me 6 packages can be upgraded. So let's do this actually. Sudo apt upgrade. These are the packages to get updated. So I will type yes. And it's done. Let's clear this. And to install programs, just type sudo apt install. I will install a small tool like nmap. And yes. You can install all your stuff here, like your Firefox, your GIMP editor, or really anything. And to uninstall a package, just type sudo apt remove and the package name. And yes. Alright, here you can see I wanted to remove nmap and it got removed. But here it's saying the following packages were automatically installed and are no longer required. This was installed with nmap, and by removing nmap, it's just removed nmap and left all of these. And here it's telling me to remove these files which aren't in use anymore, just type sudo apt auto remove. So let's do this. And yes. Now just to be clear, this will remove all unused packages, not only the ones from nmap. Now a command which isn't in any category, it's the history command. I really love this one. As you can see, it shows you the history of your commands. You can also type !! 2 times, and this will run the latest command you have ran, which is history in my case. And if you want to run a command you have ran before, like this one let's say, you can type exclamation and the number of this command. So I will go with 211, and now it wants to install nmap. And that's 50 plus Linux commands. But more importantly, you don't have to learn all of them. Just try some of them from each category and just play in your terminal for some minutes. I actually have a video on 10 amazing terminal apps everyone should try, which are really like way more beautiful than these ones. So I will put it here, just click on it. Thank you for watching and see you the next time. Click on it.